In today's video, we're going to be trying to predict the entire WrestleMania 41 match card way too far out in advance. If you've been a longtime subscriber, you know that this is one of the longest running series that I have on this channel, where I try to predict the upcoming WrestleMania 12, 6, 3, and 1 month in advance. This right here is the 3-month in advance video. Technically, we're like 2.5 months out from WrestleMania, and if I'm being honest with you, I forgot to do this video earlier this month when I was supposed to. I also wanted to make sure I got this episode out before the Royal Rumble so I could add my Royal Rumble prediction winners to the WrestleMania 41 match card that I'm predicting. I know that with this match card, I'm leaving off some major names, but I don't really have too much to go off of. I thought that 3 months out in advance, I'd have a much clearer picture as to what WrestleMania 41 would look like, but this was hard. And as always, we will come back closer to WrestleMania, review our 12 months out, 6 months out, and 3 months out videos to see how good or how bad our predictions were. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm really confident that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And if you want even more daily wrestling content, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap, link in the description, link in the pinned comment. So many more extra videos that can never get uploaded here to YouTube, so go check it out. All right, let's jump into the video. Let's start things off by talking about the WWE Women's Championship match. Now, funny enough, this is a match that I've been predicting since the very first episode of this series, dating all the way back to April 2024. So I'm not going to change my course direction because now the pieces are actually on the board for this match to actually make sense. I'm talking about champion Tiffany Stratton going into WrestleMania 41 to defend against Charlotte Flair. This is a match that I've been wanting for a really long time. This is a match that everybody wants. Funnily enough, when I initially made this prediction, I made it because it was a dream match that I desperately wanted to see. But now it's a match that makes sense, and frankly, it's a match that we need. A Tiffany Stratton championship reign needs a Charlotte Flair match in order to really help elevate her as a champion. So I desperately want to see this at WrestleMania 41, and I actually think that the pieces are in play for this to properly make sense. Now, in my opinion, Rhea Ripley was already destined to be a megastar, but running into Charlotte at WrestleMania 39 and that amazing match that we got, in my opinion, really accelerated the growth of Rhea Ripley, and I would love for something like this to happen for Tiffany Stratton as well. I don't think many people would be complaining if we got this, so I feel like everyone's on board with Tiffy versus Charlotte. Next up, let's talk about the World Heavyweight Championship match. Interestingly enough, I'm changing my course direction big time compared to the last video because I have a World Heavyweight Champion Gunther going in to defend against Seth Rollins. In the last video, I predicted that Gunther would have already lost his World Heavyweight Championship and that he was going to go into WrestleMania to have a non-title match against Goldberg. I felt like a lot of people were feeling like that was going to happen and that the World Heavyweight Championship match was going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. However, they've used their bullet in the chamber that was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for Raw Netflix. I just don't think that it's going to be as hype to get the rematch at WrestleMania. And when I look at some of the giant players, the Cody Rhodes, the Romans, the Drew McIntyres, the CM Punks of the world, there is a pretty clear path as to where their Mania is going. And it feels like Seth Rollins might be the one odd man out. And because he's the odd man out, I think it's best to use him in the best possible way, which is to give Gunther a legendary WrestleMania championship match, not only to help elevate the importance of the World Heavyweight Championship, but to help elevate Gunther's reign as a whole as well. And we already got a little bit of a tease of this with Seth Rollins talking about winning the Royal Rumble and Gunther going out there and saying, if you win it, pick me. I want to show the world that you're no longer the best in the planet. When we look at Gunther's championship reign, this is probably the match that he desperately needs. I feel like he needs to run into a Seth Rollins to really solidify him as a noteworthy World Heavyweight Champion. Now let's talk about a grudge match, a singles grudge match between Kevin Owens taking on Randy Orton. A lot of people are right now fantasy booking Kevin Owens to go up against Sami Zayn. We've already seen that before at WrestleMania, and I've got something different for Sami Zayn in this video that I think you're either going to love or you're going to hate. But we've had Randy Orton be off from TV for several months now because of the pile driver that Kevin Owens hit on him in November, and to me, that is your WrestleMania plot right there. Randy Orton probably going to come back at the Royal Rumble or shortly after the Royal Rumble to set up a Road to WrestleMania feud with Kevin Owens. Bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a WrestleMania dream match that people would love to see. In my opinion, this is the best version that we've ever gotten of Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton has been nothing short of amazing since coming back from his spinal injury. I would love to see these two clash, and more than anything, I'd just be really excited for the build-up and the promos between these two. If I can add maybe a little bit of an extra flair, I think it'd be cool if they did this as an unsanctioned street fight or something like that. Something to add to the fact that this is a grudge match, that this isn't just a wrestling match, that Kevin wants to kill Randy and Randy wants to kill Kevin. That's what I want to get out of this match. But from a plot perspective, from what we have right now, it makes sense that this is one of the WrestleMania matches. If it is one, I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't think that many of you would be either. Now, for this next one, I'm going to get a little bit wacky, so just stick with me here, okay? I got Sami Zayn going into a WrestleMania match. He's going to have a singles match, and he's going to have a match against Jey Uso. This prediction hinges on the fact that Karrion Kross is already speaking sweet, evil things into Sami Zayn's ears, and as we've seen recently, we've had these people that have been infected by Karrion Kross turn on their best friends, on their family members, and I could see no more of a heartbreaking turn right now than Sami Zayn attacking his Uso in Jey Uso. On top of that, I don't really see anything else for Jey Uso right now, but he's just such a big star that there's no way that he is left off of the WrestleMania card, and that goes for Sami Zayn as well. Now, like I said, many people are fantasy booking Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, but to me, there's a better narrative at play right now between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton that I don't want to mess with that. But if we were to somehow turn Sami Zayn heel, the best thing that he could do as a heel is to go after the beloved Jey Uso that everyone loves, and in narrative lore, these two love each other as well. So I'm down for this. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what the heel turn looks like, but all I'm saying is give this a chance. Let's go back to the women and let's look at the Women's World Championship match. I think it's going to be between Rhea Ripley defending against the Royal Rumble winner. That's right, another Royal Rumble prediction here, Io Sky. Io Sky, man, she is being treated like the side character, the one they want you to forget about. Everyone else is getting the limelight, talking about they're going to be in the Rumble, I'm going to be in the Rumble, I'm going to win the Rumble. Io Sky is staying quiet, out of sight, out of mind, and I feel like she's a sneaky potential winner for this upcoming Royal Rumble match. Again, if you're watching this after the Royal Rumble, you already know whether I'm right or wrong here. But when I look at the landscape of the Women's Raw division as is, without knowing who's returned at the Rumble or anything like that, the best available match for Rhea Ripley is Io Sky, both in terms of in-ring talent and both in terms of prestige that could warrant a WrestleMania match. Both of these have gone into WrestleMania as champions and have had banger WrestleMania matches as well. This could be a match that could steal the show. In terms of in-ring quality, it could be fantastic. But I do believe that the WWE is like super dead set on making Rhea Ripley one of their biggest stars ever, and I feel like one of the ways to do that is by giving her an awesome showcase of her skills at WrestleMania, and Io Sky can get the absolute best out of every single person on this planet. So I think that she can get the absolute best out of Rhea Ripley. Let's talk about the tag team division. In my opinion, the Raw tag team division doesn't deserve a spot at WrestleMania with how it's being booked. So in this world, they don't get a spot at WrestleMania, but the SmackDown tag team division, they've absolutely earned it. I've got champions DIY. That's right. That means I have them retaining all the way through to WrestleMania, taking on challengers Motor City Machine Guns and none other than, yes, boy, Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly is going to get their moment at WrestleMania. I just feel it. I can already sense the winds turning. I can already feel that Pretty Deadly the musical is just around the corner, and what better way to celebrate opening night of the musical than by having Pretty Deadly win the tag team championships on the biggest stage imaginable. But in all seriousness, all of the tag team storylines that are going on right now are going through Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly is like the center of the universe of the tag team division, which to me is absolutely hilarious. And I do believe that at some point or another, WrestleMania being the place, they're going to pull the trigger on Pretty Deadly becoming your new tag team champions. And if there is a tag team division that's earned a major spot at WrestleMania, it's the SmackDown tag team division. And it involves these guys, in my opinion. Now, if the Street Profits are good to come back, I could make this a fatal four-way. If you wanted to make this a fatal four-way and put Berto and Garza in there, I'd be fine with this as well. But to me, these are the three teams right now that are the anchors of the tag team division. And to me, these are the three teams you need to showcase at WrestleMania. Maybe it could be a ladder match. It could be just a triple threat, fatal four-way, WrestleMania showcase style, whatever it might be. Just give me the SmackDown tag team division at WrestleMania. In my opinion, they've earned it. Now, the match that I have for Lyra is against none other than countrywoman Becky Lynch. I am predicting Becky Lynch to come back, and I could see a world where Becky Lynch maybe wins the Rumble and we get a rematch of the awesome NXT feud that was Becky versus Tiffany Stratton. But again, I'm so married to the idea of getting Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton, and we got Becky versus Rhea last year. I'm okay to not see a rematch, so I feel like this is the best way to use Becky Lynch. Star power to help elevate Lyra and to help elevate the championship, and I could actually see her winning the championship as well, so that the championship lineage has somebody that is a first ballot Hall of Famer earlier on in its early reigns. This is also a callback to a great NXT feud that had some fantastic matches for the NXT Women's Championship, an NXT Women's Championship that Lyra took from Becky. So I'm down for this. I know that there are so many different players that you could insert into the Women's Intercontinental Championship picture at any time, but to me, Becky Lynch is the one that makes this a WrestleMania worthy bout. Ooh.
Oh, he eliminated himself.
Oh, no, he's out. Oh, BD, we love you. Good luck, BD. Oh, the Penta driver. Oh, God, on the Legos. Oh, Tiffy time. Oh, they did not catch her. Oh, look at the, look at the, oh, damn. Oh, push tush, is that? That was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, which is available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at the legendary Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys in a ladder match at the Royal Rumble 2000. The wrestling YouTuber BDE taking on AJ Francis. A Mexican death match between Pentagon and Sami Callihan. The six-way ladder match at NXT Stand and Deliver for the NXT Women's Championship. And the three-way tag match from Survivor Series 2002 between Los Guerreros, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, and Edge and Rey Mysterio. Oh, and the Elimination Chamber match from New Year's Revolution 2006, the one where that thing happens at the very end. You're gonna get this and more, like the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days early, the currently ongoing Royal Rumble watch-alongs, the currently ongoing Undertaker WrestleMania match watch-along, and more. These are all pieces of content that are uploaded exclusively to Patreon and never see the light of day on YouTube because we just simply can't upload them here. I encourage you to even just try it out for 1 month, because if you do, I'm confident that you're going to fall in love with it because of just how much content we pump out over there. Again, that's patreon.com/SantiZap, link in the description, link in the pinned comment. If you're already a patron, thank you for your support. Let's get you back to the video. Let's stick with the Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to keep this one nice and simple for you folks. I just got Braun Breaker taking on Sheamus again, and for the love of God, just pull the trigger on Sheamus, okay? I'm so sad and so tired of seeing poor Sheamus continuously come up short to become the Grand Slam champion. Just give this moment to him, please. And I know that we've gotten this match before. We got it at Survivor Series in a triple threat, and we just got it at Saturday night's main event, but both of those matches were fantastic. So I'm down to see part 3 of this. Why not? Clearly, these two have excellent chemistry with one another, and WrestleMania always benefits from just having a good banger, meat-slapping fest of a match, and that could be what this match is ultimately. I don't think anybody is going to be taking this title away from Braun Breaker anytime soon. I know Ludwig Kaiser is hanging in the wings, but I don't see Ludwig Kaiser dethroning Braun Breaker before WrestleMania. I don't see that at all. Sticking with the mid-card, let's talk about more women's mid-card championships. Let's talk about Chelsea Green as the United States champion, and I have a feeling that she's going to be defending against none other than Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega just moved over to Friday Night SmackDown. She didn't bring the rest of the LWO, which tells me that they're keen on her maybe having a singles run. I think it'd be cool if she was both a wrestler and a manager, managing Andrade and going after the United States Championship. That to me is the absolute best case scenario. But if she does go to SmackDown, to me, immediately, automatically, she becomes the best available option for Chelsea Green at WrestleMania. Zelina Vega is, in my opinion, a top 3 person on the mic in the women's division. She is so incredibly good. The promos between her, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven can be absolutely magical. And so many of us just love and have romantic romanticize the idea of Zelina Vega winning championship gold. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen with the world championships. But now that we have the mid-card titles, this is a great opportunity to pay off this thing that fans have been wanting for so damn long, which is a champion Zelina Vega. So I love this. I don't have too much more thoughts on this. To me, this is just like an on paper, like obvious choice to go with. Now let's talk about the United States Championship with champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and I have him in a fatal four-way match because I can't really think of anything of substance for him at the moment. I have him going up against Aleister Black, who at this point has already returned, hopefully at the Royal Rumble, as well as Jimmy Uso and Carmelo Hayes. Jimmy Uso, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Carmelo Hayes are just sort of part of the mid-card picture. We of course know that there's a current feud going on between Jimmy and Carmelo. We saw Jimmy kind of call his shot for singles gold and singles glory, and to me, the one that makes the most sense for him at the moment is the United States Championship. I also just figured this could just be a really fun showcase of a bunch of great talent from Friday Night SmackDown, so why not? Let's do this. We already had a grudge match on here between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Let's add another. Now, we don't really know how it becomes a grudge just yet, but I think that it's going to. I have Bianca Belair in a super match against Jade Cargill. They've spent their sweet ass time telling us who attacked Jade Cargill, to the point where we probably won't find out until after the Royal Rumble. And anything that happens after the Royal Rumble is just part of the road to WrestleMania. And in my opinion, this story arc of who attacked Jade Cargill is going to take us to a WrestleMania match. I don't know if it's going to be a WrestleMania match between Jade Cargill and who attacked Jade Cargill, or maybe this attack triggers a Jade Cargill heel turn, which then forces superhero Bianca Belair to come in and try and stop her. I could see that being the case here as well. If one of them is heel, it's Jade. It's not Bianca. Bianca is never going to turn heel in the WWE. She's just, now if one of them is going to turn heel, it's Jade Cargill. It's not Bianca Belair. But Bianca Belair is never going to turn heel. She is just too damn popular as a babyface to ever turn heel. It's just not gonna happen. The way I'm picturing this is that maybe Jade Cargill, when she comes back, she doesn't know who attacked her, and maybe her first instinct is to take out Naomi, who replaced her and took her women's tag team championship, and in her destroying Naomi, it forces Bianca Belair to step in to be, again, the beacon of good. So kind of like what I'm envisioning here is somebody as powerful as Jade Cargill just having blinders on for the wrong person, which causes her to do heel things, which leads us to this monstrous matchup that is Bianca versus Jade. I don't think that there's going to be any titles involved here, but I do believe that the catalyst of this match is just a returning Jade Cargill going rampant full She-Hulk on anyone and everyone, forcing Bianca Belair to step in. This one is a bit of a tough booking because I know both guys will be in a prominent match at WrestleMania, but with The Rock being out of the picture, it changes so many things. At least I'm assuming The Rock is going to be out of the picture. I have Drew McIntyre, and when I look at the landscape of matches, there are a solid few options for Drew McIntyre, but when I look at the best narratives for Drew McIntyre, it is him going after the bloodline and going after Roman Reigns. If The Rock is not available for Roman, I believe that the best available match for Roman Reigns is Drew McIntyre. These guys go back so far. Like, Drew McIntyre literally called himself the daddy of the bloodline and laid out to all of us the history of how Drew McIntyre accidentally created the tribal chief and thus created the most dominant 5-year run that a superstar and a faction has ever had in the WWE. We've seen this at WrestleMania before. I understand that, WrestleMania 35, but the circumstances are entirely different. This is the best version of Drew McIntyre, and this is the best version of Roman Reigns. So again, even though we've had it before, we also really haven't either. This seems like a major downgrade, weirdly enough, for Roman Reigns, considering he's been part of WrestleMania main events time after time after time after time since becoming the tribal chief, but I just feel like this is the best available option if The Rock isn't there. This one's gonna piss people off, all right? But listen, I pissed myself off when I made this, and that is Logan Paul versus John Cena. I just don't see John Cena winning the Royal Rumble. I don't see John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber. I feel like the narrative that they're going to tell about John Cena is that he is just not good enough to get a championship opportunity to try and get his 17th. And who better to poke the bear about Cena not being good enough than the insufferable Logan Paul? Plus, we've seen Logan Paul be very vocal in social media about his desire of having a WrestleMania match with John Cena. And when you talk about star power, even though I don't love this for John Cena, this is a huge match. I have no titles in this, no No accolades, just a fun little story that can give us John Cena beating the ever-living piss out of Logan Paul. That's the way. At least I hope he wins here, considering in this world that I'm fantasy booking, I have Cena losing time after time after time until he gets to Logan Paul. And I hope that we get that moment of Cena just annihilating Logan Paul with like 10 AAs. Plus, this could set us up for some really interesting social media appearances like Kai Cenat, Speed, maybe Mr. Beast, KSI, and their interactions with Cena would be honestly just awesome. So I'm sorry for the people that this pisses off. Again, the big Cena fan that I am, it kind of pisses me off too. And last but not least, for the main event, I'm going to keep it simple. They teased it on the go home right before the Royal Rumble, and I honestly think that it is the best matchup available. Give me Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship, defending against what I think is going to be the Royal Rumble winner, CM Punk. I feel like that is the thing that I want. Once they teased it, I became married to this idea, especially with The Rock not being available. Again, presumably, to me, this is the big money match. The question is, like, for this buildup, are they going to be allowed to really dig into each other? Because they both have history of leaving the WWE. They both have a history in AEW. Can they go into that? I doubt it, but I hope that they at the very least like allude to those things. There's other various match ideas that I like for CM Punk, like Punk versus Roman Reigns would be pretty sick. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena wouldn't be bad either. But again, they teased it, and now that's what I want, and that's what I'm predicting here. All right, folks, that's it. I'll see you guys a month before WrestleMania. I'll post the 1 month out predictions, but that's it. I'm done. Get out of here.